Patrol Chief Mike Banks. Chief, thanks so much for joining us today. Terrible circumstances that bring us together this afternoon. Here was the statement from the Department of Homeland Security on what happened in McAllen earlier today. This morning, an individual opened fire at the entrance of the United States Border Patrol Sector Annex in McAllen, Texas. Both Border Patrol agents and local police helped neutralize the shooter. It's an ongoing investigation led by the FBI. More information will be shared as it becomes available. It's a shocking incident, to be sure, but is it surprising, given everything that's been going on with protests against ICE and Border Patrol?
So it's not. And as you reported earlier, we've seen our assaults go up dramatically. And, you know, these Border Patrol agents are out there doing their job. They're enforcing the law. They're protecting their communities. We've got Border Patrol agents on the river right now in the Guadalupe assisting with rescue efforts. These agents are outstanding Americans. They're just trying to enforce the law. But all of the rhetoric and the false information that's being put out by the left is just increasing violence against our agents, and it's just unacceptable.
So, Mike, what's the solution? How do we tone that down?
And so we've got to get out in front of the narrative. We've got to continue coming on and speaking to you and making sure we're getting the truth out. We've got to continue our messaging, right? But then we've also got to hold those that are encouraging violence against law enforcement or inciting violence. We've got to hold them accountable and prosecute those individuals as well, and know that it is not acceptable to incite violence against law enforcement officers. And we're going to have to prosecute. We're going to have to prosecute these people to the fullest extent of the law to let them know that this is not going to be tolerated.
So you say, Chief, that we've got to tone down the rhetoric, tone down the language. Yet listen to what Axios reported in terms of ICE and the Border Patrol. Democrats told to, quote, get shot for the anti-Trump resistance. Some of them have suggested what we really need to do is be willing to get shot when visiting ICE facilities or federal agencies, a third House Democrat told Axios. Our own base is telling us that what we're doing is not good enough. There needs to be blood to grab the attention of the press and the public, the lawmakers said. With rhetoric like that, is it any wonder we're seeing what we saw there in McAllen this morning and those two other incidents over the July 4th weekend that Jonathan Hunt was talking about?
So it's not, you know, we're pulling agents off of regular duties now to harden our securities at our facility to make sure that we're on a heightened state of alert in order to prevent these attacks from continuing. And these are pulling those agents off of what they should be doing, which is out enforcing the law. But I'll tell you this, I could not be more proud of the Border Patrol employees today. They defended themselves bravely. They handled the situation very well. And I would be remiss if I didn't commend the McAllen Police Department and other local law enforcement agencies that responded and helped us stop that threat. But they're not just putting law enforcement in danger. They're putting civilians in danger, too, because when they encourage these civilians to rise up and act like this, they're going up against highly trained law enforcement officers, and they're going to find themselves in the same situation that this gentleman found himself in this morning.
Which is prepared, right? And considering this is one of several recent attacks on immigration officers, Mike, how would you say the morale of those folks are and Border Patrol as a whole?
So I would say the morale is doing phenomenally well. However, you know, it does create concern. It creates concern for the agents. They have to go home to their families. We're all fathers, mothers, you know, brothers and sisters. And so agents have to be on a heightened state of awareness, even when they're not on duty, especially in communities where you're well known inside of those communities. A lot of those border communities are small, and people know exactly who we are in those communities. And so this doesn't just affect us while we're on duty. This affects our home lives as well.
You know, we talk to Paul Perez quite often here on the program, the chief of the Border Patrol Union, and he said that his agents have been very happy, very enthusiastic that they're now able to, because of the lack of illegal cross-border traffic that we've seen in the past 5 months, get back to the job at hand. And then something like this happens.
So I'd agree, and I don't believe this is going to lower morale on the Border Patrol, but it's definitely going to create a heightened sense of awareness for us. And again, it's unacceptable that we have lawmakers calling for violence against law enforcement. That is absurd.
Mike, appreciate what you do. Thank you very much for coming on with an update.
Oh, hey, Mike, just before we let you go, the local police officer who was shot in the leg in this incident, any idea how he's doing?
Yes, sir. So he's doing well. We also had 2 Border Patrol employees that were injured as well. All 3 of those have received non-life-threatening injuries, and they're being treated at the local hospital. All 3 of them are expected to make 100% recovery.
All right, that's good news. Mike, thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.